Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at our rain chances for Thursday, some icy conditions on Friday, leading to a First Alert weather day being issued by the First Alert weather team for Friday morning. So we're going to start off looking at some of those details about the First Alert weather day that we have now issued for Friday morning. And again, it isn't some large snow system like we typically would been seeing. It's more for a refreeze possible. We have rain throughout the day on Thursday, temperatures up in the 40s. By the time we hit really midnight to 2 a.m. Friday morning, well, temperatures will be back into the 20s and even some teens. That is going to create conditions for refreeze, especially on roadways. So you got to be prepared for some slick road conditions as you're heading out and about for your Friday morning commute. And then we add some snow possibilities as lake effect snow looks to develop across mid-Michigan as we get through Friday morning. So that could reduce visibilities, could also continue to create slick conditions on our roads. But today, it's actually looking decently nice. We look outside at our US 10 camera and it is showing just some light clouds off in the sky. It is breezy out there. You'll definitely feel the wind as you're getting out and about here on our Wednesday afternoon, but otherwise you're gonna have some sun. Temperatures are warming. We're getting closer to the 40s, if not in the 40s already in a few locations. So definitely seeing some improvement there. As we look across the state, just want to take a look out to the west first. This is downtown Grand Rapids, also showing good conditions there, just some light cloud cover, but that sun definitely starting to shine. Definitely going to be windy there on the west side of the state. Then we move to the east side of the state. This is downtown Detroit, also showing us pretty similar view of the sky, just some light cloud cover, that sun trying to peek through, but windy. You can tell the camera just barely shaking there. That is because of those stronger wind, that we are seeing across mid-Michigan at this point into the afternoon. Now, Sky Tracker continues to show that cloud cover is actually trying to leave us at this point, actually seeing more sunshine as you look out to the west. So that's a good sign. If you're someone that's going to be out this afternoon, you may actually get some sunshine. Again, it is still cooler out there, 30s and 40s, but warmer than what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. In terms of those temperatures, the wind not going to help though, may make it feel a little bit cooler than what it is just because it is pretty windy out there across mid-Michigan. Traffic so far this afternoon has looked relatively good. You have a few slow spots, especially if you have a few of these accident markers, but otherwise we're looking good into our northern counties here into the 2 o'clock hour, down to the Bay region. It's more of the same, just again a few accidents being reported in some areas like northern Lapeer County, then out there just to the west of Clare. As we look towards Genesee County, it's also showing good travel conditions right now. Lansing, if you are heading that way, more good travel. And then Metro Detroit, not much change. It is looking pretty good out there with that sunshine, even with some light winds. Snow is starting to melt, so really just good travel here. Again, like I mentioned, temperatures have already started to warm up. It's a preview of the next day or so because today was the start of it, or even yesterday for some was the start of it. Today we're already seeing mid-40s. You got some 30s out there. We're not counting that out, especially as you move to the north. Caseville at 38, Bad Axe 37, West Branch and Holton Lake at 37 and 35. But as you move to that south-southeast, where maybe they've seen a little bit more sunshine, that wind is helping maybe get some of that warmer air in. You have 40s, 44 Mount Pleasant, 41 in Midland and Saginaw, 40 in Bay City. You have 43 in Owasso, and Flint very close right now, sitting at 39. It's probably an area that's jumped a little bit. You probably had a time period where it was in the 40s and now it's back at 39. You're going to probably get a 40 reading at some point during the afternoon. And again, our wind has continued to stay pretty noticeable. It's not the strongest wind out there, but just enough you'll see the flags blowing in the wind. You'll see some shake on any of the cameras that you might have outside. Right now, our winds are mostly from the west at 5 to 15 miles per hour, and wind gusts are up to about 25 miles per hour. So right now, West Branch up to 25, Lapeer at 22, Elma at 19, Owasso at 12 are just some of the higher wind readings that we do have here for our Wednesday 2 o'clock hour. Now quickly, I did want to look at our 7-day forecast. What you see is temperatures continue to stay 30s and 40s today. We'll have those 40s more widespread tomorrow, but again, that comes with a rain chance. So it's not going to be one of those days that, hey, you're going to be outdoors enjoying the 40s, because you are going to be dealing with rain chances on and off. And then we see that drop back into the lower 20s Thursday night, and then staying in the lower 20s through Friday. And that's why, again, we had that first alert weather day issued across mid-Michigan because of that refreeze possibility. That opportunity to see temperatures drop very quickly through the night on Thursday and giving us icy conditions. And I know not a lot of people want to hear that, because you may have travel plans on Friday as we wrap up the week. I know a lot of schools, it's their final day before winter break as we get closer and closer, obviously, to the Christmas and New Year here over the next couple of weeks. And what you see as we get to the weekend, it's still 30s and 20s, and that pattern holds for Monday and Tuesday. So we look to stay dry, but Thursday, Friday, obviously holding that rain chance, and then holding that lake effect snow chance with colder temperatures for our Friday. I don't see any questions over in our Facebook chat, so I am going to take a quick break. When I come back from that break, we are going to be looking more at our first alert weather day information, also looking at that rain chance, again, some lake effect snow chances, and just more info on the weather for the next couple of days. So make sure you stay right here. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for the second half of our Wednesday afternoon First Alert Weather live stream. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There I will try to answer any of the questions that you might have. I do apologize if I miss your chat. I don't always have the time, or the chance, I should say, to look over to that chat. But I do try my best as we get through our First Alert Weather live stream. So again, if you're just joining us, we are going to be issuing, or have issued a first alert weather day for Friday. This is mostly into Friday morning. So if you have travel plans, just be prepared. I don't know if it's going to be the whole area of mid-Michigan, but there's definitely going to be some impacts possible for Friday morning where we see icy conditions. We're also going to add some snow chances, so reduced visibilities could be a factor, especially if you live in our western counties. That's including Mount Pleasant, Clare, Elma. Those will be areas, they could be close enough to the western half of the state that lake effect snow really holds together as it moves to the east. So again, that first alert weather day has been issued for Friday. It looks to be, again, for Friday morning, because a refreeze is possible, causing slick roads for our morning commute. So again, I know a lot of people already have Christmas parties or holiday parties for this weekend. I know school's wrapping up for be right before winter break. So just be prepared for those slick roads. And then we also have to add some snow squalls that could drop visibilities very quickly. Again, these are going to be very sort of small areas, but should have sort of pack a punch as they move through. It's just going to be that lake effect development that looks to try to move its way in. But first, we have to get through today and tomorrow. Lows tonight, they are going to be sitting back into the lower 20s to the upper 20s. warmer than what we've been seeing, right at average for this time of year. A few areas are below, a few areas are above. Just continue to sit there with that range across mid-Michigan. Then we get to tomorrow, and it looks to be the warmer day of the two. And even today is probably feeling nice out there. Highs for our Thursday, lower 40s to the mid-40s. You have areas like West Branch, Holton Lake, Standish at 41. As you start to move down south, it gets to 42 and 43. Then you start to get 45, 46. Right now, Saginaw showing 44. Could you get warmer than that? Definitely a possibility. And then you have areas like Wasso, Flint, Lapeer, Sandusky at 46 for our Thursday. So definitely a sort of change up from what we've been seeing. We've been really cold to start the month of December. So this is going to feel nice for many that have to be outdoors. But again, it gets added with a rain chance as we get across the day. Again, not much through the rest of our Wednesday. This is 10 p.m., seeing some more cloud cover sort of build itself in. It's by about, I'd say 8 to 9 a.m., we start to see our first signs of more scattered showers into the Bay region, out towards 127, Mount Pleasant, Elma, Owasso down to Perry and Morris and Durand. Those will be areas that could definitely start to see that rain chance. And then becomes a little bit more widespread as we get later into the afternoon. So talking about 7 p.m., maybe a little bit earlier than that, 4 or 5 p.m. for areas out towards 127, seeing pretty consistent rain develop across all of mid-Michigan. You may hear a few rumbles of thunder. I think that'll be mostly to our south, but there has been some signals. Hey, there might be a little bit of energy there to hear a rumble of thunder with this. Again, I think that's going to be more Flint down towards Detroit, but I'm not going to count it out. But you see something here. You notice something. Yes, temperatures are warm, but we're seeing snow already on this model for our hour by hour. That's where our sort of concerns start to look at, because temperatures look to quickly drop behind this system. So like I said, you can already see by 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on Thursday, that rain chance may start to transition into a snow chance, maybe that mixed precipitation. That's where we could start to really see things become icy. And then seeing that lake effect snow starting to develop as early as midnight to 1 a.m. and continuing to be something we see on and off throughout much of Friday morning. By the afternoon, it should be gone. But that's where you could see some of those heavy snow bands want to develop as you're getting out and about Friday. So it might be icy, you might get reduced visibilities. That is really the main reason why we are issuing that first alert weather day, is the possibility of seeing some of those difficult travel conditions as we get through Friday morning. And again, like I keep mentioning, we definitely just have to be prepared for that. Not everyone's going to see the worst of it, but definitely have that possibility. And it's going to be windy as well. We have gusty conditions through the next couple of days, especially for Thursday. This is 1 a.m. already starting to see wind gusts up to 15 to 30 miles per hour, picking up a little more as we're waking up for school tomorrow morning. This is at 6 a.m., wind gust at 20 to 35 miles per hour, and continuing that trend through a majority of Thursday morning. Then through the afternoon, we start to see that rain chance, and we start to see winds increase even more. This is at 4 p.m., wind from the south, southeast, or southwest at 20 to, let's say, 40 miles per hour. So definitely going to be breezy out there. You're going to have to just deal with that rain and that wind. Now, as that system starts to pull away, it does calm our winds down just a little bit, but it's not anything long-term, at least long-term relief from those strong winds, because by the time we hit 4 a.m., we're still looking at wind gusts at 25 to 40 miles per hour. So definitely going to be a breezy day. Again, you could start to see lake effect snow falling, so that's where you could see reduced visibilities from falling snow. We could already start to see ice forming as temperatures have dropped at this point down to the 20s. Let's see if I can pull up a temperature model real quick just to show off what we could see. We'll pull up, do I have this one? Will be better for us, just to show how quickly we drop temperatures Thursday. So again, into the afternoon Thursday, it's upper 30s, lower 40s, getting into the mid 40s for some areas down to the south. But look at, by about 7 p.m. on Thursday, temperatures are already starting to drop, especially for areas like that 127 corridor, Holton Lake, Clare, Mount Pleasant, into Elma, all the way down to Lansing. So if you have travel plans to head maybe west, just be prepared. that freeze could happen a little bit earlier, and you start to see snow earlier for our western counties and for western Michigan. By the time we hit about midnight, that's when we start to see those temperatures really drop below freezing. So we can see Saginaw already at 32, so you could already start to see some of that ice form. Midland at 30, Mount Pleasant at 26. That's going to be cold enough where you could see some slick conditions, and that really continues to be the trend for much of Friday morning. It's not like there's a recovery period. It's going to be, can road crews sort of get out there and treat the roads as we get through Friday morning for any areas that do see freezing conditions throughout much of Friday morning. So even here at 7 a.m., as many people are getting out and about for their Friday morning routine, it's temperatures in the teens. Saginaw down to Owasso, Flint. Again, if you're heading down to Lansing, Grand Rapids out west, or Detroit, they're also in the teens. They've also seen some rain. So that's where travel conditions could become difficult if you do have travel plans maybe just across the state or even in counties in some areas could see some of those difficult travel conditions. So when we look at some of the details for our first alert weather day, it's going to be Thursday night where that rain ends and our temperatures start to drop. Again, I just showed that where by midnight, many areas across sort of the Bay region, you're below freezing. Out to the west towards 127, you're in the mid to lower 20s already. So going to have sort of a quick drop in temperatures that could create icy conditions that last through Friday morning. And then we continue to see that snow chance that could give us quick bursts of heavy snowfall across Friday morning. So reduced visibilities, icy conditions, not great for travel. And then by Friday afternoon, roads are improving. We're still continuing to see, though, that lake effect snow. And again, we're talking about travel with this. Is really the biggest impact. Again, Thursday night, when that rain ends and temperatures do drop, travel should still be in good shape. Again, if you're out west, you may already start to see some of those icy conditions because of how early that cold air does set itself up. It's going to be Friday morning where roads could be icy. You could see some snow squalls reducing visibility. So that's where if you do have travel plans, I would just be prepared to take a few extra minutes out on the road, double your travel time if you can, if you are in an area that does see icy conditions as we're getting up and about for Friday morning. And again, by the afternoon, we should have improvement. There's still going to be some areas. Back roads, I think, could see some impact throughout a majority of Friday, some side roads as well. So just be prepared for that with our first alert weather day continuing again through Friday morning into probably midday Friday. Hello to everyone in chat that has said hi. Hopefully you're having a pretty nice Wednesday here. I almost said Thursday. I think some reason we're all jumping ahead here to Thursday, but I know next week's obviously an important week with the holidays, Christmas, obviously Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I did want to take a look real quick after this first alert weather details to see, hey, what can we expect? And so far, if you're someone that's looking for warmer weather, you may actually get it. Temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center has continued to hold probabilities of being warmer than average for next week. So average is in the lower 30s. Right now, we'll see how things set up, but it does look like upper 30s could be something we see. I'm not going to count out some 40s for next week. Going to be very close. So it does look like not only Michigan, but much of the country is going to be above average. So if you have travel plans, just be prepared. You're probably not going to see many white Christmases. We'll see how snow sort of reacts, but many areas have already started to see that snow melt, especially if you're heading out west. I looked at some of the cameras in areas like Iowa that have got very similar snow to us. They've been a little bit warmer. That snow in some areas that had pretty deep snow already gone, and I think we're probably going to be trending that way. Again, we'll see how the next couple of days set up because that lake effect snow over the weekend could help out a little bit for anyone that is looking for a white Christmas. In terms of precipitation, Michigan has continued to hold on to being equal chances of being below or above average for that probability of rain/snow. If you're looking to be down south, that probability has continued to hold on to being below your normal precipitation there. And then out west being above normal for precipitation. Obviously, lots of rain has been falling in areas like Washington and Oregon and western California here over the last couple of days. So if you have travel plans that way, just be prepared. It's going to continue to stay pretty wet in those areas. But again, right before we end the stream, we always try to show off that 7-day forecast, what we have for the next 7 days. 30s, 40s today, more 40s tomorrow with that rain chance. It's early Friday morning, that we start to see that first alert weather day be issued for icy conditions, as we do see temperatures drop from the mid 40s to the lower 20s after that rain chance moves out, and then stays in the 20s through our Friday. By the weekend, we should be in good shape, but again, continue to hold on to some lake effect snow chances on Saturday, and then a little bit drier as we exit the weekend. So Sunday, Monday, you may get some sunshine actually those days, upper 20s, and then we're back into the 30s by Tuesday, just maybe a little bit more cloud cover. We'll have to see how things develop between now and then, because obviously there is some time between now and between mid next week. But with that, I don't see any questions over in our Facebook chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, especially with the more active weather pattern that we have going on, make sure you scan that QR code down below, just below me. That will send you over to the app stores on Google and Apple. There you'll be able to download the First Alert Weather app, where you can get live radar. If we get any weather alerts, you get those sent to your phones. You can also get more updates from the First Alert Weather team. You can also catch updates from us over at WNEM.com. There's a weather tab, a First Alert Weather tab there on top of our website. There you can get more updates from us here at the First Alert Weather team. But like always, thank you for everyone for joining me here today. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will be here later with his evening stream with more updates as we get more data here through the remainder of the day, and we'll have more information on that First Alert Weather Day for Friday morning. So hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.